Okay, best personal moment.
So obviously very physically challenging. So up over the Pyrenees, that was in the snow. We walked for like 6.5 hours straight without a break.
No break.
Food.
No food.
No
toilet break.
Toilet. So that was a really hard, challenging day.
But when we got it and got through it, it was like, okay, you look back and it was unreal.
Yeah, I mean, what an amazing experience to walk over the Pyrenees in the snow.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that. And, when we tell people now, what day did you start? And we walked over the Pyrenees in the snow, they're like, oh my God, you guys are crazy. Obviously, walking up over Sobrero was a big moment because of all the deers, obviously. And finishing.
Finishing was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you feel pretty proud of yourself and each other, I think.
So I know we're going through a few funny moments, but I guess on a real small one, I thought it was really good that both of us actually didn't put any headphones and music on.
No,
for the
we didn't.
entire
Not the whole
trip.
thing.
So, there was...
If we weren't talking to each other, we just didn't say anything.
And so there was some comfortable silence, I suppose.
Yeah,
and then,
lots of comfortable silence, really. Just walking and looking at the scenery.
Yeah, so I thought, we geared up to take headphones.
Yeah, we did.
We actually didn't use them. So I thought that was actually a good little moment.
There you go.
Okay, the next question is, what was the hardest moment? Well, for me, there was a couple of really bad days that I was struggling with my body, and it was just really hot and monotonous, and I wasn't enjoying the scenery on one of the stages. So I think in the video I said yesterday was the worst, and if they were all like that, I wouldn't do the Camino. And that's the truth. Parts of the Meseta was just, between Burgos and Leon, they were just horrible.
You can understand why people skip the Meseta. Because it is a bit long and boring in spots.
So it just felt like you had to get up and just walk, and you weren't sort of looking forward to anything in the day, and just getting up and getting to the next town was a chore.
Yeah.
That's when I didn't like it.
Yeah, and in the Meseta we had, I think we walked over 90 kilometres in 3 days. And
it was just sort of like, we're just trying to get to there rather than sort of enjoy the bits in the middle.
Yeah.
And one of the Meseta days I know Annette struggled getting to Casadilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess I sometimes I really found it hard to sort of slow down and keep with the net, especially at the end of the day. So I found it hard to try and...
Yeah, at the end of the day I would slow down a bit more when Mitch was like, right, he just wanted to go.
I just wanted to get to the end, and Annette was
could not physically do that.
Just slow, and I'm like, come on, we just got to get going.
Yeah. No.
Let's smash this last bit out. Just, come on.
No.
So
couldn't do it.
It was that dealing with the mental element between the two of us at different levels was hard.
Yeah.
Because I think on the hard days I just would have gone harder and got it done just to get rid of it. And the walk into Ponferrada was hard too.
Oh yeah, it was a long day.
Yeah. So,
and it was really hot in the end. The heat is really hard to walk in. That's why we like to start early to finish early out of the heat.
So the next question was around, did you get any surprises or surprising experiences? I guess for me it was, we didn't probably expect to have some of the friendships, to be honest.
And the connections with people.
So that was, I didn't expect that. And if you did it again, I guess you'd have the different expectation that you go, I'm going to meet lots of people.
Maybe. Yeah.
And I think if you were going to do it again, most of the time you do it again is probably for the experiences of meeting new people.
I guess one of these surprising experiences was walking over the Pyrenees in the snow, and you wouldn't do that at any other time. Like, you wouldn't go for a 20k walk in the snow over the mountains in winter.
And the other
Australia.
The other surprising for me was I didn't do any organising, so every night was a bit of a surprise. Okay, walk into this place. Oh, this is looking pretty good. So there was some good surprises.
Mitch got a free ride when it came to organising. Yes.
And it was a good experience.
Sure it was.
Best and worst experience, I guess we talked about best and hardest moments before, but
worst experience was flying to Barcelona.
So far.
So far.
We're talking about the Camino.
Right.
I guess the worst experience is just there were some stages that were just
Too long.
Just wish we just didn't have to do that. Some of those.
Yeah. Some of them were just a bit too long.
And there was nothing to see. And yeah.
If we did it again, we'd probably skip the Meseta. Yeah.
Some of the early parts of Meseta I liked, and then the later half I didn't.
Yeah.
The best experiences, well, I think we've already covered
that. Yep. Are we more spiritual now?
Oh. Well, not really. You could pretty much go into every single church if you wanted to, most of the time.
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
No.
We picked and chose, and then there was a few surprises in some of those earlier churches.
Yes.
So the first half of the Camino, the churches are massive. The last half, they're pokey and tiny.
Yeah.
And they just didn't.
had tiny little churches.
They didn't have anything big.
So, and then you get to the end and you have the big cathedral.
Yeah, so it was a bit weird that way. But no, are we spiritual?
No. What would we do differently?
If you were going to do it again, at the end of the day, we spent a fair bit of money on some backpacks.
Yep, we did.
And
I only carried mine for about a week or 10 days or something.
So,
I don't know.
You'd plan not to do it that way.
Yeah.
If you got the money, right? So at the end of the day, it costs you $6 a bag every day. So it comes at a cost. But I think you'd enjoy it more. To be honest.
Day plan for a good quality day pack that was comfy, and you'd have one decent sized suitcase divided into for both people.
Just
send one bag, and
the other
comfortably carry a small pack.
The other one I'd do differently is we definitely overestimated how much we could do, but
we still did it, but it was hard.
Yeah, so I think at the end even 20Ks might have been a bit short. So that 2025.
2025 is perfect. Yeah. And anything over 25 starting to get a bit
it's just too
long
hard.
and your feet ache at the end of the day.
And you're only taking a couple of clothes, so you got to wash and
every afternoon.
and they've got to dry. It's just it's an effort.
Pain in the bum.
So trying to get in at sort of 1-2 o'clock, and then sun doesn't go down to 10 o'clock at night anyway.
Gives you time to do your chores and have a relax. Whereas if you're getting in at 5,
you don't have any time.
Have time to do that. Yeah.
Anything else we wish that we did while we're on the Camino? No, we met some really good people, and I think we tried hard. Could we have met more people? Probably.
Probably it would have been nice to take more photos of the people that we met, because we didn't really do that until the end.
That's right. So we met a guy pretty much on and off all the way through Dino, and he was on his third, and he was taking selfies
with
all
everybody
the time.
he met.
And I think that was his lessons learnt from the past.
Yeah.
Where he got to the end, and then all of a sudden he couldn't find them, and you don't know if you're ever going to see him after one day. So
because we made some good friends in the beginning, like Ben and Belinda, and we don't have a photograph of us with them, and Addie and Danielle and Heather.
There was a couple of group ones that someone else took, which was great.
A couple of group ones, but it's.
Yeah, we didn't capture that enough. But
and we walk shorter distances.
Yeah,
for sure. Any
other walking tours planned?
Not at this stage. No.
And if we did, I think the Camino Frances is whatever it was, 35 days for us, so 4 or 5 weeks. I know you can do it a bit shorter. At the end of the day, I think once you sort of got to that sort of 2.5, 3 weeks, it was a bit of fatigue coming in. It was like, do I have to get up again and do this?
Yeah.
So 4 weeks,
but
4
then
to 5 weeks.
The end, you start feeling a bit better.
Yeah, it's just too long.
Yeah, a bit shorter. Something shorter.
Yeah, so something that might be only
A
2
week
weeks.
or two, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing with hills. No more hills.
And then I guess the last one was Liz. What was the pace okay? And could you have done enough rest days? So we've probably sort of answered that
Yeah.
one where
A few more rest days would have been good. Like there was places that we didn't have much time, and it would have been nice to have a bit more time, like Pomferrada or
Stella.
Astorga. We liked Estella a lot. And we
and
would have happily stayed
Villa
there for another
Franca
day.
was
Yeah,
another
Villa
one.
Franca we didn't really get to see.
so there's some
Because we were
towns
so
that we
tired.
stopped that were small and you could just walk around for an hour and
Yeah.
you've seen everything.
You've seen everything.
But there was a couple that, especially in the earlier stages, like even Point Lorena, like that old town,
It was amazing, that old town,
and,
Point of Lorena.
and we only got to see it for a couple of hours, and Estella was the same.
Mm.
And
So yeah, you could definitely slow it down, walk 15, 20 k's a day if you wanted to. There was a couple of guys we met that were having 2 walking days, 1 rest day.
yeah,
And that's how they were going to do it. But I wouldn't want to rest in some of those
some of those
Meseta
places,
towns. Oh my God,
You
you'd
didn't
just be bored to death.
yeah, you wouldn't want to do that.
Mm-mm.
I think you've got to be strategic, and
Yeah,
so yeah,
yeah.
that was the pace.
The pace was probably
Yeah.
a bit quick at times, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I couldn't get through it quick enough, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was all the questions, and thanks for everyone for asking, because we sort of enjoyed going through that.
Yeah.
Um,
One thing that you get asked
a lot.
fairly regularly is, would you do, it again?
And we pretty much said no,
We wouldn't do it again.
for
it's not
different
because,
reasons.
Yeah, it's not because we hated it or anything like that. It was
And
because we want to see.
We want to do other
places.
things, so-
yeah, so much more other places to see out there.
You know, we watched this YouTube couple, and they've done it 6 times. The Camino
I've
Francis,
done the Francis 6 times and Portuguese
Portugal
once.
and
And
they obviously love it, and
Yeah.
hats out to them. And I think it's the people that they continually
Yeah,
meet as the reason why they
probably. Yeah.
they do it. I certainly wouldn't do it in summer.
Oh
I
God,
think-
no.
I think we got quite lucky in the end, where
With
I think
the weather.
spring was a good choice.
Yeah.
we got snow.
Because
and
there
the
was people that walked it 10 days before us, and they
it was
got
just wet.
a lot
Of rain.
A lot of rain.
Now, if we had
Whereas we, 2
2 weeks of ponchos,
yeah,
we probably would have
thrown
thought it
the
sucked as well,
towels
right?
and gone and done something
That's-
else.
Yeah, so I think we got really, really lucky. Yes, we got snow.
Mm.
Yes,
But
the
that's
first
kind of
week and a
lucky too, 'cause
half
it
was
was
probably cold. It was really
Yeah.
cold.
Yeah.
And yeah, once we got past, and then all of a sudden it was almost too hot.
At the end, yeah, right at the
Yes.
end.
So yeah, I don't know if there's
Yeah.
a perfect time, but I'm glad we do it in spring.
Spring was lovely because you got all the wildflowers too.
And it was green.
It was nice and green.
and-
Yeah, and the weather was good for us. We got lucky.
Yeah.
So yeah, no plans to do it again.
I won't. I don't think I would.
Yeah, lots of other places in the world.
A lot of the people
Just
in the Europeans that do it, they can't. They struggle to get to 4 or 5 weeks, and so they quite often just do 2 weeks and
Yeah.
come back and do another 2 weeks. I reckon that's not a bad way of doing
Yeah.
it.
'Cause
The
you know-
Aussies, it makes it hard for the Aussies to
Yeah,
do
because it's so far.
that. So far away, you got to get there. So
There's lots of Europeans that come and do a chunk and then come
And they
back
just
the
come
next
back and
year
do a
and do a chunk.
and I reckon that works.
It does work.
Yeah, because I reckon you could do that because they're only like a 2-hour flight away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why not come and just do a week of it?
Yeah.